We're in Northamptonshire because it's the home of Tanks a Lot, which is one business that has found itself without a bank account. Nick, you're the owner of Tanks a Lot. You found yourself quite recently without a Barclays bank account as well as a Wise account. Just tell me a little bit about the history of your business, Tanks a Lot, how you came into it and why you think that you've been debanked.
Well, 35 years we've been doing everything from private car crushes to corporate days to all the agencies where you buy activity vouchers and then kids' parties, everything you can think of with tanks. And then suddenly this war started with Ukraine and they wanted tanks and we had rather a lot of them. So when I say tanks, they're troop carriers and types of command vehicles. Nothing's been sold with a gun on it or with even a smoke discharger. And I think we'd done about 120 vehicles leading up to Christmas. I mean, there were low loaders in and out here every single day. And then suddenly they just closed the account.
So it's been 6 months since you've been able to sell one of these tanks. It's actually these tanks right here behind you can see on your screen, but for people listening on radio, they're troop carriers, so they're a little bit smaller. They don't have a big barrel gun. No. What was the reason that Barclays and Wise have given to you as to why they've closed your bank accounts, which I think you've had for upwards of 40 years?
45 years with Barclays, yeah. Never bounced a cheque, never gone overdrawn. And I think that might be the problem. I'm what you call low profit, but possibly high risk in their opinion. I don't think I am high risk because every single vehicle that's left here has been checked by the Department of Trade and Industry, which I think are now called
the Department for Business and Trade. They changed those names quite a lot. They checked all of your accounts and give an export license over to the people that use for getting these vehicles out to Ukraine. We checked with them what you said. They follow a strict risk assessment framework. So they say that your dealings are all business legitimate. So why do you think that Barclays said that it's okay for them to close your account?
There's draconian rules on any type of banks that get involved in money laundering or anything like this. And I think maybe Ukraine have got a bit of a reputation that in the past. I think they should give some kind of dispensation because a potential bit of money laundering is a lot less important than Ukrainian lives.
And that's why you're doing this. You know, you've been in this business for a long time, but you don't sell tanks very often. You don't sell these vehicles very often unless maybe it's to another dealer in America.
Collectors in America, they love the occasional tank. Incidentally, they have to be deactivated twice. How about that? Isn't it nice to think the Americans have to have less kind of gun left in it than in England?
Yeah. And just quickly, where do you think this ends? We've heard so many stories recently, particularly the one about Nigel Farage losing his bank account. Where does this go from here?
I want to know why. And if they've lied to me about why they've cancelled my bank account, the same as they lied to Nigel, one or two people have said it should be more important because it's not just reputation, it's not just business, it's lives.
It is lives because you're trying to get these tanks over to Ukraine. It's people from all sorts of political persuasions, isn't it, Nigel? All sorts of backgrounds. But the one common factor is that they're losing their bank accounts.
Well, it is. And I have to say, Nick, I love the look of that place. I want to come and visit. It looks terrific. But what is so bizarre here, I suspect it could be that you're involved with military kit and that's what the bank don't like. But I think it's because you're doing business with Ukraine. As you say, they had a very dodgy reputation. But the bizarre thing is, our foreign policy is to support Ukraine. And here you are, effectively sending armoured personnel carriers. Quick question, Nick. Have you written to the Defence Secretary?
Nigel's got a question for you. He says it's our policy, the foreign policy, to help Ukraine. Have you spoken to anybody, the Defence Secretary or anybody at the MOD, about why they think this is happening?
Lord Attlee, John Attlee, or Earl Attlee in the House of Commons, as House of Lords, he's basically made lots of inquiries, and they seem to be saying it's just because of the risk factor that if they get embroiled in any kind of money launder or anything like that, the fines against banks from the government are massive. We need some kind of dispensation, and I think that with all the licences that have to be granted, I think it's pretty safe.